I am also following the rugby on my laptop. Got Peacock on, the Peacock service. They have France versus Scotland, final game of this year's Six Nations. I didn't talk about the rugby on Tuesday's show, but obviously because it still felt too raw because my boys came out just short last weekend against the French to miss out on the Grand Slam. We lost in literally the last second of the game as France scored a fourth try. But we lost the Grand Slam, which you get for playing and beating all the other teams in the tournament. But we still have a chance of the title. Now, for us to miss out on the title, France have to beat Scotland, and they're playing right now in France. And they have to beat them, score 4 tries, and beat them by 21 points. I think that's how it goes. Now, the second half is just starting. It's 13-10 to France. So it's going to be on the corner of my eye. It's like, come on, I see, I'm wearing some Scottish colours. I'm wearing some blue. I'm wearing the Scots colours. Come on now, the Scots. So yeah, this is going to be fun. I am literally going to be going, oh. But anyway, how you doing? Good to see you all joining. Thank you for coming by. Hopefully today will be a little bit different. Hopefully there won't be as much phlegm. Somebody did comment on the last feed that I was a little bit Flemish, and I was allergies. I've tried to counter that and take care of, take some preparation. So bear with me. If I do, I will just go. And hopefully you didn't hear that. I mean, you will see me coughing, but my point being, I understand that it can be very unattractive and disconcerting, and I apologize for that. I have allergy. I do have seasonal allergies in particular, and living where I live in Southern California, the seasons are numerously. Basically, we get 3 summers a year. 3 summers and not quite summer. Even freaking winter is better than summer in most countries. Hotter anyway. So the pollen's just going, what's going on? We're going to be out here. We're going to make you all milky. So anyway, apologies for that on the previous shows. I'll try not to do that again. No face paint and Scottish whiskey, no, but I will crack open some of my Penderyn if the Scots can do us a favor and just, keep it tight. Keep it tight. If they win, it'll be even better. More power to them. Scots, good team. Very good team. We were very lucky to beat them this season at Murrayfield. Anyway, all right. So, hello everybody. Thank you for joining us. Or joining us, me and the rugby apparently. Hope you're all well. What am I going to talk about today apart from the rugby? I can't remember what I was going to talk about. What did I tweet that I was going to talk about? Hang on. First of all, now I wish I could show this to you, but without upgrading and spending a lot of money on the Restream Live Studio, I can't show you the red band trailer for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Oh my God, I wish I could. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. In fact, just talk amongst yourselves. We'll talk amongst ourselves while you watch it right now. Go find it, watch it. It's brilliant. It smacks of James Gunn. There is humor there. There is violence. There's language. It's an R-rated DCU movie, and it gives me hope that the DC universe can be rescued. Obviously, I have my feelings about Snyder Cut. And I've tweeted them out again this morning. I upset a lot of people this morning, apparently, because but anyway, first and foremost, let's draw a line over that and say, James Gunn, fantastic. I think James Gunn should be in charge of the DC universe. No, I don't think he'd ever do that. I don't think he'd want it. I don't think they're ever going to go in that direction ever again. They've said that they are going to step away from the singular universe, and they're going to multiverse the fuck out of it. So more power to them. But yes, did anybody else watch it? Starro is the bad guy. Yeah, King Shark and Starro. I mean, look, first of all, the whole "it's a bloody kaiju" line was awesome, and then you see this huge fucking starfish appear out of the ground. Sorry, distracted by the rugby. Maybe I shouldn't be watching it right now. France are on the attack. So yeah, Starro pops out and it looks great. I don't think that's the total big bad. I think that's going to be one of them. They obviously wouldn't give away the full big bad in one go. So yeah, I thought it looked great. I think, and I'm going to take issue with Raypad, John Cena. I got to give him props because I've heard things from the set of that movie. I've seen the reports saying that John Cena was very, basically was told to just riff and be rude as rude and offensive as he could be, and apparently he did. And I'd love to see that on outtakes, which I don't think we'd ever see. But for him to sort of like step outside his perceived comfort zone, I think he looks great. I'm even looking forward to Pete Davidson in it as well. I'm just hoping these characters are going to get a new lease of life, and that come August we're going to get a really good DC movie we can all get around and just gets us excited. Okay, yeah, and King Shark, boom. Idris Elba, you could do no wrong with Idris Elba. 15 years ago, I would have said Idris Elba would have been a shoe-in as James Bond for at least a 20 year run. People say he should still be given the chance. I don't think from a franchise perspective he could carry it off, because he'd do maybe 2 films, maybe a film. Well, you do 1 film at least, and it would be probably brilliant in it because that's what he is. But after that, he would be he'd be in his late 50s, which everybody says, oh, Connery, Moore, etc. And those guys, they started to show their age towards the end. And I'd hate to see that on Idris Elba. I would love to have seen him get a crack at the James Bond character, because I think he would have been absolutely amazing. Anybody who's seen him in Luther, anybody who's seen him in The Wire, hell, even in I was going to say Calvin and Hobbes, but it's Hobbs and Shaw, which was the Fast and the Furious movie, where Idris Elba issues the line, "I'm Black Superman." I mean, he is just so good in that. It's very rare he does a dud, in my opinion. And yes, I'd love to have seen him as a Bond, but I don't think he was. I don't think he was ever in the stars for him. So that's a shame. But yes, he looks great. He looks great. Harley Quinn might actually be not as annoying for the first time, because Birds of Prey really just drove me up the wall, because it was just another mediocre movie, in my opinion. I know I shouldn't be criticizing, because it's a ladies' movie. But anyway, yes, I think James Gunn is what this franchise needed, and the fact that if he can bring half of the charm from Guardians to this and up the R-rated and the violence, it's a win-win-win-win-win. Anyway, have France scored? Have France scored? Oh, they've got 2 tries now. Scotland are down to 14 men. They got somebody in the sin bin. Hang on. Is it a try? It's a try. Shit. Oh, well. Maybe I shouldn't have been watching it. I'm just going to click that off. You might watch my physical and mental facade crumble in the next hour as I watch as Scotland head to a championship. Sorry, France. Anyway. Yes, Cassandra Cain totally ruined in Birds of Prey. All right, so let's see. What else are we going to talk about? All right. And obviously, since we've talked about a little bit about James Gunn and everything else, let's talk about the latest Snyder thing. And I got into a little bit of trouble this morning. When I was a bit pithy on Twitter, because you know me, I can be pithy. I love to take the pith. I tweeted out this story that 1.5 million people had tweeted in support of restore the Snyderverse because they want DC and Warner Brothers to turn around and say to, say to Zack Snyder, "Oh, please come back, give us your the two last films, and complete your nightmare sequence." And I responded with, "Oh, look, 1.5 million idiots." Well, paraphrasing myself. Which, of course, people don't take kindly to being called idiots, and I got some grief, and deservedly so, because I call people idiots. So I went back and I actually broke down what I view to be the reasons behind, or why I said what I said. So bear with me. We're going to talk about it right now. I did a thread. And basically, the things are, and look, this is just the fact stuff, and then we'll get on to the emotional aspect in a minute, because I want to finally put this to bed. Because you know what wound me up again this morning? I turned on Justice League, and Justice League Justice is Grey appeared on HBO Max. And it's the fuck off Snyder Cut is coming. I want the fuck off Snyder Cut. So I just went by the numbers. I just looked at the numbers. Batman v Superman and Man of Steel pulled in about $620 million for those two movies. Production budgets, production only, not marketing and everything else, $475 million. That leaves a profit of about $145 million. That's $145 million without the marketing and everything. So it's quite feasible, considering the level of marketing. These two movies pulled in a loss for Warner Brothers. Okay? Obviously, DVD sales. I'm talking domestically. Around the world, that's where they tend to take more of their money in. So domestically, the movies posted a loss. Around the world, their numbers were up, but not that much. I think the franchise, the two movies combined, didn't even break $1 billion worldwide. And then we talk about the reviews. There's 44 DCU movies on Rotten Tomatoes. And I know Americans say tomatoes, but I'm going to say tomatoes. And of those 44 movies, Man of Steel is at number 25 out of 44. So there are 24 better reviewed movies than Man of Steel. And then Batman v Superman is 35, with an average of 29% for the reviews. Man of Steel got 56% average reviews. So we're looking at movies that are critical duds. Because, that's toxic. That is some toxic level reviewing there. That is, you shit, give up your day job, go somewhere else. If I could continually, if I did a game, or if I worked on a game that got 29%, after getting one that did 50 whatever it was percent, 56% review scores, I'd expect to be fired. The devs would expect to be fired. That's it. End of story. Never mind the fact that didn't make that much money. And you're talking about things that should be no-brainers in the DC universe. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. No-brainers. Didn't make the money. So, anyway, moving on. I said that to finish Snyder's vision, and this is a very, very conservative estimate, it would cost $500 million to finish the last two movies. Even if you film them back-to-back. Again, production budget only. That's only $250,000 per $250 million per movie, which is like only. But we know that the production budgets go north of that. Batman v Superman cost $250 million to make production. So we will be looking at maybe $600 million or more, including marketing and everything, for the two movies, even if they were filmed concurrently or consecutively, to try and keep costs down. I don't think DC would ever do that. I don't think Warner Brothers have said, no, it's not going to happen. Warner Brothers said they're not in the Zack Snyder business. Now, this is why I'm getting continually pissed off with Zack Snyder. First of all, his movies are shit. End of story. But now, of course, he's bleating to the fans. he's saying, well, it's up to the fans. If they want it, they'll have to try and get it. So he's basically saying, oh, you go and get me another job. Get me the job to finish this because I fucked up the first two movies. I did the Snyder Cut, which of the Justice League thing, which was actually an unfilmable fucking theatrical release, but I had the benefit of an extra $60-70 million to put it on a fucking subscription service. And so you, the great public, my fans, go out and get me this other gig. And DC and Warner Brothers are saying, fuck off, we're done. And I don't blame them. They don't want to get into bed with that guy anymore. He almost ruined the DC fucking universe. In fact, he ruined the way that DC wanted to go in copying Marvel. So we will never get a fucking Justice League movie, a true classic Justice League movie. And don't come at me and say that Justice League, the Snyder Cut, is a classic movie. It's a fucking pompous, mostly bullshit, occasional good bits, 4 hour fucking disaster when you think about how much extra it cost in total, how many extra years he had, and it just goes to show that Joss Whedon worked fucking miracles to get that fucking unfilmable shit down to 2 hours of unfilmable shit. Ooh. So yes, that's my view on that. And of course, Snyder has just been, he's been doing this all week trying to wind the fans up because he wants the Snyderverse, because he wants the paycheck and he wants the gig. And I don't think this is a labor of love for him. I think it's pretty fucking obvious. He hates superheroes and he hates the DC universe. Anybody to treat that much, treat those movies with that much fucking disrespect, treat that context. I mean, the Martha line alone, fuck off. He is the guy, and I've said this before, who made Doomsday, the guy who killed Superman. He made Doomsday to be the bastard love child of Lex fucking Luthor and General Zod. That alone should fucking have him put in a comic book jail. But no, the fans are like, oh, he's so great, and he could do this, and this is wonderful. No, I'm sorry, he's shit. And none of that, he's a whiny bitch. He's a whiny bitch. Oh, I'm getting wound up. This is good. This is what happens when you have 3 hours sleep. A bad night last night. I couldn't sleep. And so this is the other thing that we learned this week. This came from Snyder's own fucking mouth. The scene where Martian Manhunter appears at the end of the Snyder Cut and talks to Bruce Wayne. Originally, that was going to be John Stewart, the Green Lantern. Now, DC said, no, you are not putting John Stewart in this. You're not putting the Green Lanterns in this. You've got them in the beginning at the big battle scene. That's all you are getting is that one at the very beginning. You're not allowed to do that. And what does Snyder do? He threatened to fucking quit. He'd got all this money from DC and Warner to do the reshoots, to redo the fucking special effects and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then he threatens to quit if he can't use the Green Lantern. And then he decided, well, I decided it's probably best if I carried on. I'm like, fuck off, dude. They probably said, you fucking walk from this and you'll never work in this town again. Because you cannot fucking get people to pressure and abuse Warner Brothers high-ups until this to get this fucking Snyder Cut released, and then piss off halfway through because after all, a shit ton of money's been spent on it, all because you can't get one character. And I applaud Warner Brothers. I applaud Warner Brothers and DC for turning around and telling him no fucking way. Because let's face it, we've had one shitty Green Lantern movie, and I would hate to see the Green Lantern, John Stewart in particular, who I would love to see as the next Green Lantern in a fucking movie. I'd love to see a great fucking John Stewart Green Lantern. But I don't want to see him tainted with the shit of the Snyderverse. I mean, it's bad enough that Affleck is now off. We're never going to get to see Affleck as a full Batman because in his own movie. Henry Cavill forever tainted. Gal Gadot, she's a good Wonder Woman. She is a good Wonder Woman. First Wonder Woman was a good movie. Not great, but good. Second one, atrocious. But it's, Ezra Miller and Jason Momoa are the only two left who could avoid the stink of the Snyderverse. And let's face it, Aquaman was a bit fish sticks. Ezra Miller in The Flash, we don't know what's going to happen. But the Snyderverse has tainted almost everything. Snyder's fucking fingers. Him and his wife. Now, look, they had a personal tragedy they wouldn't wish on anybody. But to keep on coming back to bilk people, to keep on coming back to use people against them, to raise money for shit and then shit on the fans who raise money, this is what they've done, is unacceptable to me. They're shysters. They shouldn't be allowed near another comic book movie. They should go off and do whatever else they want. But anybody who defends the Snyderverse to me has to answer the charges of him being a dick, him basically using blackmail to try and get these gigs done, using a toxic fan base, which we talked about the other day, and then just stabbing fucking people in the back, left, right, and center. It's a fucking hack. Fucking hack. Anyway. The Murphy, nicely done. Nice comment. All right. So, yes. Whew. That got the old juices flowing. Yeah, like I said, I'm a little tired, a little cranky. I haven't had my juice today, and I haven't had my afternoon nap because obviously I'm standing here talking to you fine people. I'm probably pissing a lot of people off. My Twitter feed is actually really quite quiet right now. This is good. Yes. Let's talk about... What else am I going to talk about? Oh, movies. So... some days, you just gotta. Yesterday was a cold day. It was a cold, miserable day here. I didn't have much to do. The wife didn't have anything to do, so we basically just curled up, blanket. We put on a crappy movie, and this is just me, sharing a little insight into our life and what we like to do. I like to watch crappy movies. I know I've just spent all this time railing at Zack Snyder for making crappy movies. I've got no problem with people making crappy movies. I've got a problem with them stabbing people in the back. I've got the problem with them using people as tools to get what they want and then just fucking throwing toys at the prams and having the temerity to assume that the shit that they do is actually any good. This show, it's not any good. It's basically an old man shouting into the fucking void. You guys turn up because you're as miserable as me when it comes to this half the time. You agree with me or you don't, and you just like to watch an old man go rah. So yes, yesterday, crappy movie. The Tom Cruise 1998 classic Cocktail with Brian Brown, Elizabeth Shue, Kelly Lynch. We put that on. It was on Amazon Prime. Curled up and watched it. 1998, I was working in various pubs. Watched that movie and thought, ooh, that'd be great. And then obviously like a bunch of other fucking 18-year-olds working at various bars started to do, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Woo! And dropping bottles and getting the verbals and getting fined and pay docked because I just smashed a 20 quid bottle of fucking whiskey. So the movie is pure 80s. The movie is totally awful, but it's also totally brilliant. If you haven't seen Cocktail, you need to. The premise is Tom Cruise wants to make money. Tom Cruise becomes a barman and works with Brian Brown. There's a lot of this. Great soundtrack. There's relationships. There's breakups. There's friendships. There's tragedy. And there's life lessons. It's such a bad fucking film, but it's also brilliant. It's it's brilliant in a bad way that most films could only ever dream of getting to. So yes, that was just what we did yesterday, and it was great. It's so nice to go and watch some crappy 80s movie. So I just wanted to share that totally randomly. If you haven't seen Cocktail, please do. Please do. All right. Let's go back to the chat room. I haven't actually been paying attention to the chat room. I apologize. All right. Hello, Steve. Hi, Emerson. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, the second Wonder Woman movie was awful. I see the chat room's gone pretty quiet. Has everybody run off? I don't blame you if you have. France are back to Scotland are back to 5 at this moment. Wales are going to take the championship by 1 point as it stands with 22 minutes to go. It's not going to last. It's not going to last. Okay, so why is the chat room quiet? Anybody here? Do I need to go and take a look? Ah, there you go. Let's see. All right, bear with me 1 second. I am just going to do this, and then we're going to talk about some stuff. Okay. There's that one. Oh, I wonder if this is because I put a whole new bunch of hello, Murphy. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, all right. Apparently, I've only got a couple of people watching on Twitch. Anyway, viewers' numbers are going through the floor. Either people are pissed off that I hate Zack Snyder, or they've all gone off to watch the French game. So anyway, what do I want to talk about next? This is what I want to talk about. Talk to you about next. It is the Future Games Show. Spring Showcase. Now, this kind of caught me by surprise. I didn't see this until late last night, so I missed it live. So I caught up with it this morning. Lenok, I am with you. I am so with you, Lenok USA. I am so with you in that the original miniseries of The Stand had a much better feel for it than the new version. So let's talk about the future. And again, I would love to show you